Hello everybody on YouTube and welcome to Feedback Friday number whatever the hell it is now. I don't know what it is now. 28, 29, 30, 46, I don't know. This is a stream where we play games made by you, who are not literally you. These people down here who are watching the stream, they submit their games to a Google form at the start of the stream, which can be run anywhere, started anywhere between 1 and apparently 20 past 3 on a Friday. You just got to be lucky. You got to be there on time, and you submit your game via there. And assuming it is made by you, you have permission from your teammates. If it was made by more than just you, and it's freely accessible for me to play in some form. We'll play it on the stream, and I'll try and pretend to have anything intelligent to say about it. This game is called Look After Larry. It was a Lurm Dare 47, I guess, game. That involves looking after a goldfish. The first thing I know about it is the first thing I know about pretty much every game, and that's there's a mismatch of resolutions, okay? Which is the word I'm using here, trying to avoid specifying pixels, which we talk about every time, because it affects more than just pixel art games. The most obvious thing here is the title, like doesn't match up to the pixel art and stuff around here, right? But also, if I zoom in, if it'll let me zoom in, OBS let me zoom in, there we go. These pixels are not the same. And I'm just going to explain this now at the start of the stream, so I hopefully just stop having to go over it again and again and again. The issue with this, as always, is that it ruins the illusion that pixel art creates in the first place, okay? Because what pixel art does is you accept what you're viewing because you assume that you're viewing it through like a low resolution or low quality lens, right? It just looks like you're seeing things from low resolution, so your brain fills in the gap of detail, right? So something can have a blocky, weird arm, and it doesn't matter because you think you're just viewing the whole scene like that. So your brain can like fill in the detail and create that arm, right? You ruin that when you create things of different sizes in one scene, like this, because that gives away that you're not just viewing the whole scene through that lens, and actually those things just look like that. So now it starts to make you think, well, why is this one here with its little like nail in here? Why is this one like twice as big but the exact same shape? It like your brain is demanding extra detail from this because this has more detail. So then it gives away that it's just a bad drawing, right? And the illusion of the pixel art is ruined. That's why it's important, okay? Not that you can't ever do those things if you know what you're doing or you have a specific reason to do so. Usually the reason to do so is because you want to shatter that illusion for a specific reason. As I say, all rules exist to be broken in various different ways, but it's good to know them before you start breaking them. Anyway, that's that out of the way. So, hopefully everyone else's games are going to be perfect for pixel art and consistency, and I'm never going to have to bring that up again. Hey, I like this little menu thing though. The buttons on here are cute. Just a little rocking and stuff. It's good. But I know that I've started the game and I have no idea what to do. I have a cursor here. I can drag it over here. This is green. We can make some boxes. There's what looks like boxes that are going to come from the side at some point. Do I have to like... Oh no, that doesn't look safe at all. I don't think I looked after Larry, guys. Okay. Well, those ones then. Okay, I get the idea now, at least. Like, it's a bit problematic that I just had no idea what to do, but you very quickly just experiment and then, like, it becomes clear. But it's still an issue that, like, I'm showing this screen, there's a lot of, like, there's a big box here and stuff, and I don't know what this means, if it's good or bad. It's not, like, the most anti-intuitive, but... oh, can I... It's really, I just sort of need to... Oh, that's not useful at all. I don't care about these ones, do I? Oh. Assuming... Oh wait, was that okay? Larry did not look saved. We are now on the next level. Okay, so this is all the things I have to place. And after I place all those things, these things start happening. There's no indication of what order other than it was like bottom to top. Okay, it's interesting because I do actually have to place these. Otherwise, it's just like if I just place Larry, I just put him on the floor here and it'd be fine. That's a little tricky. Oh, you can't go on the floor? I wasn't told this rule! You know, funnily enough, this might work. Fair enough. Nailed it. I like this concept though, this is cool. It's not been very clear with its rules. They become clear, but they become clear through initial kind of forced failure, which fortunately is not like a big deal. But like I could have done with knowing that like you can't go on the floor. I could do with knowing like the order these things were going to fire in, even though it's become clear now. And how this order of thing worked. It was all quite intuitive once you see it. Like you only have to fail once at each particular thing to be like, oh, that's how that works. Oh, that's how it works. Like each thing is like you're fortunate in that regard. But it feels a bit like you got away with it rather than. Oh wait, we have to keep multiple Larrys safe. Again, we weren't warned. Oh no. No, it's okay. It's okay. Like water looked like it should have been pouring out, but it was not. I don't really know how that works. See what's going on here. That's gonna do something. See, I almost worry about succeeding on these levels, because if I succeed, I probably am not gonna learn as much as if I would fail. What does this do? Oh, okay, it's gonna get rid of a thing. But then I succeeded! I succeeded without even knowing what I was gonna do. Okay, this just breaks a thing, right? Just want to minimize risk, see? Nailed it. What do these do? They like absorb these? This feels like a tutorial level. Like it's just designed to teach me that. And then it's followed up with something else. Okay, cool. Yeah, this should have been. I feel like this should have been a bit more how those other levels worked, but. So one we just need to like block off. So those two shoot 5 and these ones shoot nothing because these have some text on them. Do we have a few too many of these? Uh-oh. Oh no, wasn't enough. No, they all shoot 5 times. Okay, so it's a little weird that these two have 5s on them. These two do not. And yet they all seem to do the thing where they shoot multiple times. Like having the number, like if there was just one number on the screen, then maybe I would have got the impression that all 5 of them shoot 5 times. Text got covered up by the, I see. So they all have that text. It's just not visible. Right. Well, that's an issue. But yeah, I understand. True, great jokiness, but that is a lot more work. /room restart. No, /room underscore restart is it's much quicker tech. I guess what maybe we want is like. No, it wasn't close. Something that like covered all areas, right? Nailed it. I feel like you can get away with a lot. So I don't even know what this is. Let's just find out. What happens here? What's the deal? Oh, it's a black hole. Okay. And also, this is going to shoot some more things. So what do we need to... How do we avoid the black hole? Not like that. No, I don't really even know what I'm thinking here. I think that's just sucked in. This is a tricky one. We created some sort of like orbit? Do we need to like for long enough? I don't even know. This level is terrible? Or isn't it just really hard to work out? Big suck. I mean, I don't know what's in there, but. It does almost feel like you need to like create some sort of magic orbit. It's not just leaning on the black hole. I need a pro tip. What do I do here? Really far to the right, you don't know what you were thinking. Okay. Well, like on the as low to the ground as possible. Oh no, he's just out of range. Oh, I see. Kind of. Yeah, it felt like what you were thinking was, oh, black hole that like sucks things around. That'll be a cool to do thing with the physics. How do I make a puzzle out of that? Something like this? Did we do it? We did it. Yeah, I like the... Right. This is like, we've got to click in just the right place to get like an orbit or something. How long do we have? There's no clearness on like how long he has to be safe for, you know? Yeah, so like, you get the idea there, but like, you don't know like how long does that have to last and so on. So I think what would help this is just a lot more clearness about the rules. And a bit more thought about like the main conceit of each I don't know if that's the right word, the main idea behind each puzzle. Because it feels like you're using a physics idea or something that just like looks cool or feels cool as the idea behind each puzzle, rather than like a challenge for the player's brain, right? Because I mean, that last one is just like find the right place to click, and it's kind of really hard to work out what that should be, other than just try it for a while and you'll get it, right? Generally with puzzle games, and this isn't not every puzzle game, but the idea is like you teach the player the rules, you teach the player a clear set of rules on how something behaves, and then you introduce a problem with those rules that then like the player has everything they need, understands everything other than just one very small thing that they need to understand in order to solve the problem. The closest you've got here, I suppose, is like you have that level with the 4 lightning pole things that like absorbed shots. Then it was very, very obvious that you placed all 4 around the thing and they absorbed the thing. So like, okay, that's how that works. And then you enter into a level where you only have 3 and say, how do you solve this? That's good. That's generally how puzzle design goes, right? You told the player all the rules, and then you said like, but how would you do that if you didn't have enough to cover it? Which is good. I mean, the way you actually end up solving it is a bit inelegant and weird, and therefore the solution doesn't feel as satisfying. But the general idea of the puzzle design is there, and if you want to, like that's how you should use that as a model for then designing the rest of the levels, because that's generally the rule of thumb way to approach it. So what do we do here? I've been clicking these over here and making a little pit. No. There's always little things like it's very basic the way you've drawn the area you can click in, but honestly for a jam game I think that's fine, it's clear enough. It's interesting how it has to be completely within that rectangle. It would feel nicer, I think, if you could click all the way to the edge and then you just made the rectangle smaller, even if it's effectively the same area. That's something I think would feel nice about clicking right on the corner here, like you're cheating it a little, even if it's been designed for. I like this concept though. This is just little physics puzzles of like you have these tools, build a thing, it has to survive the environment. I think that's a good structure, good foundation for a puzzle game. I've tried this exact build before, haven't I? Why am I just doing it again? Oh right, it like spins. I see. So the way I'm doing it is probably not Very well advised. There's no indication that that was going to do that. That's the problem as well. I'm just like... I think that's the issue. A lot of the times I've solved it without really knowing what's going on. Oops. Oh wow, they can like break themselves. Maybe that's the strat. Oh, never mind. We just did it with a random guess. See, that's kind of the issue there. You want to nail it down to. You want to make sure that whatever the key lesson is you want the player to learn is what the player actually does to solve the level or the puzzle game. Otherwise, they just sort of stumble around and be like, okay, I guess I did it. This game is like, despite I think some of its key failings there as a puzzle game, it holds up as just being a fun little physics thing, and like the physics work and feel believable, and the movements are nice and they're satisfying, even though they're made out of very simple things of just like these pixel blocks that just fall and thunk, thunk. Like things just, just having things that just bounce and fall and move around in believable ways. And I love the water effect in the bowl as well, even though it feels like it should pour out when it is actually on like top or whatever. Wait, is this enough? Wow, that was just a completely random array of stuff, but that actually looks pretty solid. See, I shouldn't be able to just do that. I should have to think about it a bit more. But like, there's loads of cool things here because you're forcing the player to do things in a certain order. You could play around with that. Like, you could have two levels that are otherwise the same, only like you get the lightning rod last instead of the lightning rod first or something like that. And that could completely change the way you have to solve the level if you built it right, I think. And that's a cool thing. That would be a cool thing. Like, you teach a player how to solve a level where you get like a box, a little box, and a big lightning rod or something like that. And then you have a level where you get lightning rod, box, box. But I think the issue here is just like a lot of those just haven't really been thought through enough, you know? Oh, we needed one down here as well. Oh, but we still get one? We've kind of... Can we like bully ourselves through it? Yeah, we can just put one in the... Probably shouldn't be able to do that either. Oh, what? Ah, there's like 15 from a... Oh, right, okay. Right, I think I'm going to leave this one here anyway. But, I like the idea. What level did I get to there? Oh, you saw. But, yeah, I like the concept a lot. And there's a lot to be said for it just like feeling okay, even with the rough graphics. Like it just, it feels alright. That was the last one? I could see that, yeah. Just because it was just like, and now there's loads of stuff. Can you survive? No, yeah, I like the foundation for it is solid. I think is the idea is great. Even though like it's obviously rough graphics and jam execution and stuff like that, I think all that stuff actually came out well and spent your time in the right places there. The difficulty with it was level design and puzzle design, which admittedly for a jam is like the hardest thing to have time for, right? You're busy trying to get everything else to work, but for a puzzle game, it's like they live and die on level design. It's good. I like it. But just pick an art style as well. Pick an art style, stick with it. For ours, I won't go on about it every game, but it's important. Your art skill is fine as well. Like that stuff in the water and that pixel art looks great, right? Stick with that style, that resolution. Just pick that and go with it. Make everything fit it. Everything will look way better. You'll suddenly look super talented. if you just commit to making it all look the same. I mean, the main thing you benefit from with jam games and level design is focusing on ideas that don't require a lot of level design. Because it's really hard. 48 hours to do level design. It's one of those time-consuming things. Anyway, thank you for that one. We are 50 minutes in. We've done one game of 10. Good pace. Next up is Possessor from a series regular Daddy Suck 5000, whose name I have to say every stream. Who is once again continuing his revisit of the world of 2D. Who has found yet another game? He finds all the game jams. Was it a Wowie Jam 3? What jam is that? Who knows? Only he finds them. He knows where they all are. I think he's entered every game jam that has ever been. Thank you, Holtzy, for the resub. You gotta have $25 Patreon %. No. Literally anyone can send in a game. They just have to they have to appear for the stream when it like starts up, which can be very difficult depending on your time zone and life. And also there's a degree of RNG as to when the stream is going to start. Imagine entering WoW at every game jam. Daddy Suck doesn't have to imagine, he just does. You know, people said always be making and finishing games, and he took that and he was like, all right. And he's doing it. He's committed. And he is improving at a very fast rate. It's an important part of the process. Important part. We should probably have read anything about this, right? Let's hang on. Short game where you shoot enemies and possess their dead bodies. Very short and riddled with bugs. Standard. Also, some of the placeholder wasn't make it look bad or out of place. This looks alright so far, honestly. We've got a lot of space down here at the bottom. I'm not sure what this is going to be about. Walk animation. I love these style of walk animations because like it's so obvious what happened of just like you've got this character, you drew him and he looks good and everything. It's like, okay, now we're gonna animate him. Well, we need to make him walk, so that's gonna start with the legs. You make those legs move. You spend loads. There's a lot of frames in there, right? A lot of frames getting those legs to move, and then you finally did it. And you're like, oh, that was a lot of work. Okay, yeah, that'll do. Just move on. And so the rest of the body is entirely still. The solution there is just spend a little bit less time on the legs. You know, just don't spend so much time doing these because like you've only got so much time, especially you're doing a jam, you know. So just move everything a little bit, or just I'll do less frames, keep it simple. Don't know if I can go through these doors. It doesn't appear like I can. That's fine. Move over here. Like. Instead of like, talking about the art looking out of place or bad, and there's like a mix of art styles, but critically, if we zoom in here, the pixels are actually... are they? It's at least hard to tell, so that in itself is a bonus. It's hard to tell if they're the same size, which is good. I think they're roughly the same. I think they're a bit like rectangular and stretched, and some scaling issues. But like generally speaking, you've kept the resolution the same, which makes it feel okay. Until here, you see this line here. That's the issue. That's where it falls apart. So even when the resolution is a little bit off, you can get away with a lot because, as I say, it was hard to tell. Like, oh, so they look more or less the same, and it's about what your brain thinks. But when you see this, my brain is like, oh. And when I see this guy, my brain is like, oh. Because now look, like my brain isn't going to fill in the detail for him and like make him more than what he is because he's on a background that's higher resolution than he is. So to me, it's just like, well, he just has a really huge dark brown blob for an eye now, right? That's how he be. That's not just a lens thing with the pixel line. Your next contract is ready. The guy is at home right now with several bodyguards protecting him, so be careful. I'll send you the address. Okay. Press R to kill. Okay. Restart is usually the term most people use, but kill yourself, okay. That works too. Oh wait, that's actually a mechanic? Oh yeah, I turned into a ghost. Never mind. Never mind, okay. Oh yeah, we possess people or something? It said in the... Okay, well, I'm just like a little ghost now. I kind of respect just how much you don't care when it comes to the graphics. Hey, look. We were talking about consistency and stuff on that first screen because it looked like there was a big attempt, and then we go onto this screen and it's just like, ah, fuck it. Just this giant... like there's one pixel of this background thing. It's like the side of this guy's entire head. So there's no more pretense on any of that. Okay, so that's out the window, right? Which can be a style in its own right, but I don't think that's even the style here. I think you're just trying to go fast, which is also a thing. So, oh gosh, that was volatile. Can we open doors? Do I want to open this door? Do I have to turn myself into a ghost to best you could find on Google? Why not just draw something? I know it's like wow, my art skills not that good, but it doesn't matter if your art skills are not that good if you're just at least consistent. Even if it's badly drawn, sketchy, magoo, whatever. It'll honestly, like, just terribly drawn MS Paint stuff is gonna look better than the best thing you can find on Google if that stuff all looks the same and it's all like done in the same way. Like, I really do mean that when I say it. Like, any art style, like any like production method you have for the art, any lack of skill you have, it doesn't matter how good you are at the art at all. If it's all consistent, it's a massive like leg up over things that are inconsistent, and it's especially in such a dramatic way. How do I open the door? More importantly. They are good examples, yeah. I mean, that stuff in itself, though, is still a skill. Like, I talk about it like, oh, just make it consistent. But I mean, keeping it thoroughly consistent is a skill, but it's one worth learning because it's way more return on investment. You gotta possess the guy. Alright, so but you put me here with a gun, and I can do things, and so on, so I expect I can use any of that to do anything. I suppose we did shoot this guy, but... Well, I literally oh, you can only possess dead people. Okay. Now I get it. But the rules must be made clear. Whereas this is just sort of a hint, right? So it's hard to kill yourself, which most people would not take as a positive action. Believe it or not. So we have to find a kind of a weird angle to kill that guy, then come in here. I think you should do more 3D stuff, honestly. Like, I think it was suiting your style of experimentation better. But I respect the commitment, nonetheless. Okay, these guys can open doors. Alright, so I suppose I can die at any point, and I can just pick a new dead body as long as there are dead bodies. So for every person I kill, that's like an extra life. I kind of dig this stairway mechanic, actually. Like, I've never really seen it done like that, ever. And it looks really bizarre, but... I don't know, it's simple, and it works. Just, am I stood on this? Yeah, I can move up. No. No Danny Suck 5000 trademark cutscene. We've got a new weapon there. Is there any indication of how we can swap to it? Oh, one zooms me in. I'm guessing that was a leftover debug thing. And that zooms me right out. Oh golly. I could have known we're knowing this. Tell me your controls. I just notice you have a stubborn refusal in your games to tell me how to do anything. There's nothing wrong with just tell me how it works. Tell me what to do, where to go. I mean, it's good. It's like, oh, I can see the whole level. But one thing that's not really clear or intuitive about these rules as well is I know it's obviously like if I die, I can't repossess a guy what has been killed twice. But there's nothing to indicate that he's really been killed twice, you know? Do we just have infinite ammo? Good! I'm glad that you have infinite ammo. Kept that simple. And then just keep the game more about the whole possessing and possessing thing. A dude and a dog, okay. Play again. Okay. That's simple. Honestly, like the experimental mechanic is kind of neat, but like there's not really much done with it. It's not really super clear how like when a person is dead or dead again. Like, I'm not saying that's wrong just because it's unintuitive or weird. You can have any kind of weird mechanics, but it's like if that is your rule, there needs to be something that indicates that rule, right? So when a thing dies the first time, it would look different in some way. To something that has died a second time and is no longer valid for ghost inhabitation. Okay, because I can't come into this guy, he's died twice. Or this guy. But this guy, we can. No, this guy we can't, but then this guy we would be able to. Right, and there's no indication on that, only just sort of learning by trial and error. But people aren't going to give it that amount of time, you know? And it is weird to start your game off with a guy that's going to break into a thing, and his first action is shoot himself. But hey, that's the experiment, right? Graphically, it's all over the place. Just pick any style that you create yourself. That's the thing. If you are getting all your art from other places, you are gonna end up with some level of inconsistency. That's just how it be. But like, you can avoid that just do the things yourself and don't worry about them being bad. Really, I guess the main issue people have with that is because they want to do a particular style that they themselves cannot create. Therefore, they reach to assets that look more like the style they want, and then it's hard to find assets that fit. I get that. That's a problem. But generally, like, if you can't create the style, then you gotta ask yourself, should you make it in that style? You know, make something within the means you have access to. But sure, it has a start, a middle, gameplay, and an end. That's good. I don't get what all these guys down here are that you don't have to interact with at all. But but the mechanics actually like flow fairly okay, and that you just move into a thing and it just like you take over it. Honestly, your gun shooting and stuff feels nice and good. But at the end of the day, there's just not much to it other than take over thing, shoot thing, move on, right? I'm trying to think of an example of what maybe you could do with this mechanic, or I was like, because then death isn't so much a problem as long as there are other things to take over. I don't know, it's a tricky one. It's tricky to tell you how to expand things that are this experimental. But I think it kind of works. It's on like a line in a vague direction I can imagine ending somewhere interesting. I'm not really sure what else to say about it at this point. But yeah, well done. Keep on keeping on. Again, I will say I think I like your 3D stuff, and like I think that environment suits the way you experiment a bit better. Oh, who are we banning? I don't even know what he said. But he will tell me to ban him, so alright. Next up, we got Prototype, no name. Oh, password is Sean JS, okay. But now you've told everybody. I'm on a resolution you haven't. Ah, right, yeah. That's something that catches a lot of people. The fact that I run on 1440p. It used to be on 4K, now it's 1440 on this monitor. I think I probably said that wrong in the past. Yeah, just to come back to the 86 game though, I think I said this last time, but I will say it again, and then I'll shut up and leave you to your own devices. But like, um, your 3D games, I think, suit the kind of experimentation you do a bit better because they can be a bit more freeform and like the first person stuff or controlling a dude with a camera, and they can suit that kind of weird horror vibe and weird controls and stuff like that a bit better. I think platformers are really unforgiving for those kinds of experimentation because they are kind of abstract like just by nature, by being the side on like thing. So I think players tend to expect a better degree of fidelity and control, and um, they need the basics to be on point a lot more, like the collisions and stuff like that, and the sizes and proportions of things need to make sense and feel good in a way that you can get away with a lot more stretching of those things and not caring about that stuff so much when you are in 3D, weirdly enough. So I think that suits the general vibes of your games a bit better, but I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Anyway, games use yeah, I'm noticing a lot more people using big resolutions these days. Gamers will be talking about 1080p like they talk about 30 FPS. Well, that's already started, man. People talk about like I have friends that are like, "Oh, 60 FPS now," and I'm like, "What? Already?" Oh, this game that the port to PC is locked to 60 FPS. What a drag! I'm like, what? We spent ages trying to make sure we made games get to 60, and it was like really hard work. It's so hard to optimize something for 60. And now everyone's like, no, you need to be able to run it at 140 FPS on. Game developers cannot win. Anyway, no idea what this is. A prototype by Sweeney Dot Digital. Cute title up here. Little, I think possibly a resolution thing, maybe with the font and stuff, but you can see it's just a bit like jaggy on what would have really suited a really smooth, clean, crisp like typeface here. Just, I mean, I know this is obviously a placeholder or whatever, but this would have actually looked like super smooth if that was like clean and crisp, you know. Same goes for the text on these buttons. On these buttons, though, people are very good at buttons. I notice. People are better than me at buttons. Everyone's got shiny buttons that have got cool little hover states and stuff. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe everyone's spending too much time on their buttons. Skill slot 1. Unknown. Wait, are those just unbound keys then? Do I need to bind these keys? Shouldn't be unknown. What should they be? Maybe we can set them. What would they be by default? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. For one reason, it's always good for me to check the options. Pick up items by using E. Alright. I'm trying. Alright, I've got to hover over it. Okay. Slightly key point that was missing. To equip your new item, open your inventory with tab. It's quite a screen, but we're focusing in on this. Okay, so what you probably want to do, I know I just reacted like that, but if you do want to show like a big number of things like this, probably show it right away and then like fade into this like thing here, because otherwise this just almost looks glitched out, right? There's a whole black area of the screen and then this is lit up and I'm like, why? Eventually I digest the whole screen and I realize like, oh, it's telling me this, but it's just a bit of a unsmooth way to get there. Hover your mouse right over the right mouse button, okay. Okay, that just equips things. You can unlock new talents with every level gained. Pick your first talent now. Too bit much at once here, probably, but it's okay. I don't know, because I have no context for any of this yet, right? Maybe I shouldn't have any talents until I actually gain a level. And then you can do me this tutorial. Do we start down here, or do we start up here? It's not entirely clear. Or does it matter? Generic. Talent effect. Some of these are just not finished, right? 5 SP for each enemy hit by a melee attack. See, I have no context. I don't know what any of this means. Global move speed +1. Okay, we'll have that. That's a lot of stuff. But you know what I'm going to say? What am I going to have to say? Why? Why? I feel like I'd forgive it a bunch more if I said that. And I'm like, you know what I'm going to say? And people were like, no, I don't know. What are you going to say? And then like I say it and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good point. But every time I say it, I'm like, you know what I'm going to say? And I'm like, yep. And I'm like, well then why is it like He's like super smooth. Like both these styles are good, but why are there two of them? Both styles are great. This looks really nice. I love this. Like the HP bar at the bottom, it's all like a diamond and it like wraps around it. That looks great. That's really cool. Crisp, clean. Character looks great. Crisp, clean, sharp. Swing. Ooh, that sword effect's really nice as well. This portal on the ground, crisp, clean. I like it. Smooth green color on the grass. I like it. But then the trees are rotated pixel art. Why? And they look great. They look great, but they don't for a different game. Get of trees. Why? Just do them in the same style. Any. It doesn't matter what you did. If you'd have drawn a green circle, a green circle that was still just a flat color and matched up to like how all this looks, it would have looked better. It is. Cohesion is king. It is. Absolutely is. When you're ready, step on the portal and press E. Okay, I'm ready. Generating terrain. I don't know if maybe we should equip those other things, but I feel like I was given a lot of items very quickly and I didn't want to look at them. Generating coffee. No, it's not. Oh, you lie to me. Oh god, I'm stuck behind a box. I can't move, I'm stuck on a box. No goblins. Oh, and they have shields. I probably have a shield that I probably haven't equipped. Oh, I have a stamina bar or something stupid, don't I? Yeah. I was like, why am I not attacking? And then I like thought a minute about what kind of game this is. I'm like, I bet it has a stamina bar, and I bet it's empty. Sure enough. Oh, cool. Start again. Tab, that was it. Portion of poison damage is siphoned as life. Chance to poison. Well, yeah, we'll get that first. Oh, we can't. Maybe you should have just started me with the sword. Have me pick up the shield and equip the shield and have that be the tutorial, and then I have everything I need to get going. I don't actually have any abilities yet. Skills need to be equipped also. Do I have any skills? And if so, you need to tell me that. Where are my skills? Where? Oh, the wisp tome? I can equip that as well? Oh, no, we got a thing. Okay. Oh my god. That each box has like 1,000,000 items in it. Maybe a bit more restraint in the items being dropped because it's just a bit overwhelming otherwise. And like, I can't even wear any of this. They're like, some of the stuff like this rain effect and stuff looks cool and everything like that. But I think you're spending too much time on that now. I think you're running down the road. You've not traveled too far down it yet, but the road of spreading yourself way too thin. Also, why are the items pixel art then as well? Pick a style. Either is fine. You could do the whole game pixel art, turn this guy into pixel art, lower the resolution dramatically. That might be hard to do at this stage, but you could do that, make everything be pixel art. Or make everything be these like smooth, solid color vectors. But you do have to pick one. And this game makes it's more frustrating than the others for this, because both bits of art have been done really well. But they don't fit one another, and then the whole thing falls apart. So doing something that you knew you should do would have made it amazing. You can't decide like what style you like for each thing, and be like, oh, don't pixel art icons look really cool though? Because I mean, you can obviously do icons that are not, because these are non-pixel art. You obviously have the ability to create them, and they look great. Again. Oh, for dev commands. That smooth colors. Yeah, any single style you have here looks great. Anywhere between fine and great. You just got to pick one. No icons are purchased, right? I honestly feel as a rule of thumb, just don't purchase art, because it's you can basically committing yourself to then, if you want to have a consistent style, what are you gonna hope that one artist has made art that fits your entire game? I think it's a trap. I think buying art assets in general is a trap. Hire an artist, don't buy art. Which I know is way easier said than done. Fancy shadows and stuff. Yeah, so this is what I was saying. Like, you've got rain effects and fancy shadows that are a bit weird because of the blocks and stuff. But I'd cut both these things out, and your day-night cycle and that as well, right? I would cut out day-night cycle and the rain, stuff like that. I should slow down here, actually. When I'm saying I would or whatever, I'm not telling you go away and do these things, like, necessarily. Right? I'm saying, like, I think it would be... What am I saying? Let me think. I think you've got a cool game loop here that you could focus on instead of doing all of these things first. I think these things should come a lot later, and they're the type of things you can spend your whole week doing. You know, like oh, I've been spending like I finally got the rain thing looking good, but the game feels no better otherwise. You know, and these types of things like having cool shadows and cool light and stuff like that is value, for the most part, value multipliers. But you need to have the base value there to multiply, right? So you got to get the game part going good. And honestly, like, this is fine so far, but it's been obviously not very super well tuned. Like, it's absurdly difficult already, right? What's this? Just like a spinny thing that uses way less stamina for a spinny attack or something? Circular attacks in games are always great. Well-known fact. Ordinary belt. Actually better or worse than that? Def 10. Oh. That's way more defense. Because now it feels like you're committing yourself as well to a system where you'll eventually have to make me wear the hat and stuff like that as well. Just setting yourself up for a huge project here. So, like, the less time you spend on things like a really fancy dynamic top-down rain system, moving trees and stuff. All this looks great and it's fine, by the way, and it's not bad or wrong to add this stuff. It's just a question of your priorities. Because there's a whole bunch of just walk through, kill the thing, and so on, and the skills and the tutorial and all that really important stuff is really missing and really lacking and really thin. So to have that be the case when otherwise, like, there's so many other extraneous value multiplication things put on top, it doesn't really work very well because the base value isn't there to be multiplied. Like, what? Why are there like 2 million goblins now? Like, what? It just came out of nowhere, you know? Like, that stuff just hasn't been tested or thought through properly. Like, I couldn't fight that. And yet this is cool, like, all this setup, like, so much time and effort and energy has gone into all this. But it just needs to be put into the right places, you know? So you need to slow down on this stuff. I'm not, like I said, I'm not actually saying, like, strip all this stuff out. Obviously leave the work you've done in there, right? But, like, you really need to focus on all this other stuff. You know, focus on, like, a really clean, smooth tutorial that teaches the player everything they need to know in a way that they'll remember. Don't throw this stuff at them when they don't actually have any context for it yet. And it's not even clear, like, which side of the talent tree they actually start at. Apparently it's the top, but it's not super clear, but, like, they follow through to one another and stuff like that, you know? And that stuff's really important. It's never explained that you even have a stamina bar. I just discover it when I can't swing the sword anymore, and, like, I played Dark Souls once, so I know that that's a thing. And, like, oh yeah, I have to remember to equip all that other stuff, and I've forgotten to equip all that other stuff. You get what I'm saying? I'm cheating some levels if I can, curious if it feels any good. Well, it doesn't matter because, like, if I use the dev commands and I give myself a bunch of stuff, I might be able to create a situation that, like, feels good where I, like, have all of I was like, in terms of just the basic combat so far, just a million goblins showing up or whatever, like, I don't feel as much I can do at it, obviously, at the beginning. All I can do is move and swing, right? And swinging feels terrible if I... Why do I run out of stamina? When my swing doesn't even do that much damage. The point of stamina, in, like, Dark Souls or whatever, is that every move you make in Dark Souls is very... I always lose this word. The word for it. When you do something specifically and you commit to it with a reason. What's the word? Someone give me the word. Intentional, that's close enough, right? Deliberate, that's the word, deliberate, yeah. Everything you do in Dark Souls is super deliberate. Every attack you make, you buy an engagement ring for every attack that you make in that game, right? And you make like 3 and then you're out of stamina, all right? And it's to stop you being able to just swing. But your attacks in this game are very like they're fast, they're quick, and they don't do a whole lot of damage. Like they're not, each attack isn't like super impactful. So that means like all your stamina bar does is serve to create a moment where you can't do anything. It doesn't force you to think about your really powerful, meaningful attacks. It just gets in the way of the you go stop, stop, right? To force you to use both mana and stamina, right? So you want the player to go between those two things. But mana accomplishes that by itself. Okay, that's how it's always been, right? Consider Diablo, right? You have 1 meter in that, and that's your stamina, or not your stamina. Sorry, you have your mana bar. I know Diablo 2 has stamina for running, but that's a terrible mechanic. That's stupid, right? You just have mana in Diablo 2, right? For actually fighting, right? And all of your most powerful abilities are mana driven. So you use up all your mana, and then when you use your mana, you go back to swinging with your attack, and that's how you cycle between those two things. And I get it, like, oh, you want to have abilities, you do both, and so on. But if that's the case, then just tie the powerful, meaningful abilities to the stamina bar, and have your attack just be free if the attack is just, maybe just what it is, you know? You gotta commit one way or the other. You can't have every cake and eat it, right? Hit load game, what does this even... Oh. Load game doesn't work. Okay. But that's fair enough. I think we've seen the idea that I know it, like, you're like, oh, there's abilities and stuff to test out and so on. I'm sure they, like, honestly, like, from what I was getting, the feel stuff is all right. Like, it's not incredible, but it's okay. But that's not necessarily where you want to spend your time at the moment. You want to spend the time on the tutorial and the balancing of the basic stuff. All right. Because it doesn't matter how all your cool different abilities and stuff feel if people never get there. So, swinging the sword, right? Just having a sword, just having a shield, that experience versus the enemies needs to be fun and good. Only when that is fun and good and is clear and people can get through it and enjoy it and learn what to do, does it matter what any of the cool spells and abilities do, or any of the later enemies do, or anything like that, okay? IMO. Take that advice and do with it whatever you will. Go ham on it, disregard it, do whatever you want with it. But that's how I feel about it. Okay, cool. See, this is... Oh, hi Sean, thanks for playing the game. No, I probably should have read this. Things there are not. Gameplay loop, consistent art style, enemy variety, proper tutorial, different balance, ice cream. Okay. Things there are. Procedurally generated levels, randomly generated loot, player stats, status effects, weather system, day, night, cycle. And this is my entire problem, right? These are the things there should not be yet. These are the things there should be now. Right? Here's your to-do list. Don't do this. Do more of this. You do this first. This is first. This is later. Even the ice cream. No, I don't know. I don't even know what that means. But this stuff first. This stuff second. I know I feel bad in a way because you said say specific areas of feedback you're looking for, and stuff on the game feel is good. I think I think the game felt generally okay. I'd have more to say about it. I think if just what hurts around the melee combat is the stamina thing and the fact that it felt like I'm doing very little damage. I know it's the start of the game, but it's important. And the visual style, as I say, all of it looks great. It just needs to be coherent and consistent, right? Pick one. I don't care which you pick. Like anyone leads you decide the pixel art looks great, good, go for it. This like HD like icons and stuff look great, go for it. The smooth like solid color stuff looks great, go for it. I think if you do go for that, maybe not the giant heads on everything. Like it looks a little bit strange, especially when they're outlined as well. There's ways you refine that, but honestly, don't even think about. Forget I even said that. Don't think about refining it. Just get it to look consistent. Then refine it, because then that's when it matters at all. Okay, I think I've said everything that could ever be said about that one. Hour and a half in, 7 games to go. Hopefully some of these will be quicker. Next up, we got Navigate from Kellen CO. Maze navigation suspenseful game. 1 month game jam submission. Okay. I haven't actually seen that yet, the Devon game. I saw it in an email from Yo-Yo. It said like, yeah, sneak peek of our new inspector. I don't really even know what the inspector is, or I can't remember what it was said to be on the roadmap, so I haven't actually seen it yet. Oh, this is spooky music. Can I full screen? No, I cannot. Instead, we just default to a very strange window size. It's very dark. Space to pause. Okay. That's the only control we've been told so far, but arrow keys do a thing, so I guess that's okay. That looks like we don't want to go near that. Otherwise, it be a maze. And I've acquired a button with a D on it. If I press D, does that do something? Oh, it does. Okay, so I guess that told me how to use it. But not what it would do. Just made me move faster. Maybe I should save that. Uh-oh. Doing a Dead by Daylight thing where heartbeat. Got to get past the weird mass of whatever that be. Oh, we did not. Kind of hard to tell where that is because it's just like a bunch of particle effects and not a solid thing. So it was like, is that on this tile or is it on the tile below it? Is it the same? No, it's different. It's like a procedural maze. I don't know what these things are gonna do. Well, I've got a whole bunch of them. Well, now what do I do? So I just have to walk backwards, right? Oh, S teleported me just somewhere random? Okay. Problem with it being like a strict maze like this is like I don't really have a lot of recourse to like juking the thing other than just going back along the linear path. Like, what do I do here? Other than just hope it goes a different way? I can't get past it. Okay. There's not, because there's like only like a branch every now and again because it's just like a classic maze. So it's just like a little flip a coin thing and then eventually I'll run out of branches. If I don't get the coin flip eventually. But now I know it's behind me, I know I can just run to the finish, presumably, right? Assuming I don't go the wrong way, like I have done. There we go. This has just done the same thing again a few times. Oh, I want whatever this is. Oh, it's the teleport one, right? D is the go faster one. See, now he's coming for me, so I guess I go down here. Okay, good. Now he's behind me. Almost want to leave these buffs where they are because they give me some light. Wait, there's another thingy? I think at the very least what you would want to do is like bias the enemy to always take the wrong turn. But I'm not sure if that would actually help. Or at least like increasingly bias it over time so like you don't go over too many. I guess S and D because like your other hand is used on the arrow keys, so then like your left hand can just easily hit those buttons. Oh, bit of lag. There wasn't exactly much of it. No space to shoot clear. But I think we get the idea. Which is good, it's actually just a short, simple one, so we don't have to spend too much time in here. It's not clear what the abilities are going to do when you pick them up until you try them, so there's a bit of trial by error stuff there on like grabbing them. The ones that are fairly clear, I guess, once you know how the abilities, like putting the button on it is smart, so it's just like, oh, that's what you do to turn it on. And the light ones, it's fairly clear what those are going to do because of what they are. The others are just colours though, and there's no really any indication, no icon or anything like that might indicate what they might do. Oh, the enemies can pick them up as well? That's interesting. Other than that, it's just a simple maze game of getting to the end, right? Because of like how strictly it is just like a maze, right? When you get chased by, or when you run into the enemy and it's following you, all you can do is kind of backtrack along to the next branch, hope it goes down the branch, hope that branch is long enough to buy you time to run in front of it, and then just do basic maze navigation to get to the end, right? And that's all there really is to the game. Like the abilities, like the speed ability is helpful, and the light ability is helpful, the random teleport, I guess, is a panic button or whatever, right? The ambience is alright. The shadow thing, like, it's off resolution again, and so it's like your particle effect. I zoomed in at the wrong time there. And if you're going to use pixel art, just try and be consistent with it. You can do that with lighting effects as well. You just got to make sure you force your resolution to be the right size, force the surfaces that you use to maybe create the light to be the right resolution, and you can make them actually then fit. That'd help as well. I find like low resolution games like work really well for this kind of horror thing if they are really consistent. The inconsistency hurts it because it makes it jump out as video gamey. And as I say, it kills that illusion the pixel art creates, and it just makes him look like he's got a big, weird pixely head, right? The monster just being a weird particle effect is a cool idea for an enemy, but like it does make it a little bit hard to tell where it is at any point in time, and given that it's a tile-based movement, you want that to be really clear. Apart tile-based games like this often actually, like, the horror component of this could actually be really cool if it was turn-based in a way. And maybe the maze was more complex, and so like, and then you maybe can't even see as much, but like with a simpler maze. And like every time you move one, the enemy moves one. You know, that's a classic kind of like maze game for escaping. I think you got to work out where it's going to come, and then you could reduce the light even more, so you can't really see everything, like around every corner. But then you pop around the corner and you can see the thing. And be like, oh, okay, now I've got to get here in so many steps. How do I do that? Like, could be interesting. But for a simple little maze thing, I think it works well. You know, you got the mood and the ambiences there. Simple ambient track that doesn't actually get annoying despite being quite a short loop. I think you've erred on the side of not really telling the player what to do and hoping they kind of work it out because you wanted to keep that mood and ambience up. Which then deflected a bit by just having text space to pause on the screen like that, when pause is really not that important of a command. There's much more useful things we could have told us. I know you got level progress 1 out of 8, but we're not going to stick all the way through. So yeah, be wary of very simple mazes because they just restrict your options and the things that you can actually do and the interesting interactions you can have with your enemies, because it's just, as I say, move back to a branch, hope they go down the long one, carry on. That's the game. And the other things are just things to do, like your powers and so on. But other than that, the basic execution of it's pretty cool. It's good. Ruby Kingdoms, the Steam one that we got. This is from 4Wargame. We have the option of start. What does this do? Oh, is this like a custom start thing? Some sliders that are a bit... Right, well, we're going to click tutorial then. Okay, I see. It's like a Rubik's Cube and a kingdom. Welcome to Rubik Kingdom. Press enter to continue. Some sort of font alignment issues? Or they're just like letters in it. It's just seem a little bit up and down in weird ways. Before you is the map. The 8 tiles that surround your castle are your lands. Click them to see the types and effects of each. Okay. Grassland plus 1 food worked. Okay. See, I played Civ and have a little bit of context for what worked in brackets probably means. I'm not sure everyone would. Okay. The map is a 6-sided cube. You may use the navigation panel. Okay. You know, you probably didn't have time to do this, but like, what would have been very cool is to see this. Wait, where's the 6th side? Where? Oh, double click the middle. Oh, right, okay. Okay, I mean, it's probably the best way you got to envision this, but obviously, and I'm sure you know this because it's probably how you really want it to be, but it would be cool to be actually 3D and do like a cool rotation effect. And there's ways you can sneakily do that in 2D, and obviously that would have been a lot of work. And I don't know how long you had. Was this a jam game or? No, not necessarily, but like, that would have been the dream, right? Have it on a cube and have it go. That itself would have just been a wonderful toy. So that fundamental underlying idea is really cool, and now I can't stop thinking about how great that could look and feel. It's a shame, actually. Well, let's try and pretend it looks like that in our head. The map is a 6-sided cube. You may use the navigation panel to be the different side. Yep. Press enter to continue. Top of the screen is your kingdom info. Okay, on the left. I mean, I don't know what any of these things are, but okay, it's info. Alright. The left is your banner. Prestige. Okay. Fruitful by his words, we're now being told. My banner, prestige, workers, and soldiers. Don't know what those mean yet. Maybe he's going to tell me. In the middle is my god's anger. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Veva is around. On the right side are your resources. Iron, wood, gold, and food. Hold control while hovering over the icons for more info. And by more info, you just mean the name of what each thing is. Okay, no, food gives us some more. Every turn, you'll lose an amount of food equal to your workers. Plus your soldiers to feed them. Right, so assuming that that's these two, we're going to lose 3 food a turn. While soldiers can fend for themselves, if there is none after the tile count, you will lose a worker. Okay. Oh, in a normal game, you must first spin the map. Spin the map? What does that mean? I gotta know what these things mean. +1 food. Oh, okay, it's like going through the tiles. Oh, I kind of like that. I like it's going through each tile, showing me what each one did. That's good. During the tile count. Okay. Before you spin the map, you may work tiles. A lot of little feel feedback things here of just like, you know, when you're going between each bit of the tutorial, like I'm pressing enter and then these things are appearing, which I know you would think is just like, oh cool, things are like appearing over time. But it looks like by pressing enter, I've made those appear instead of going to the next part of the tutorial, which is what I wanted to happen. I'm like, oh god, what did I just do? So I would rather see some sort of visual feedback on the tutorial page, like maybe the tutorial like, or something, you know, like disappeared and reappeared. Or like a sound played or something, you know. I want to know that I'm interacting with the thing in the right way. Before I spin, I still don't know what spin the map means. You may work tiles with your workers to get resources, or scout tiles with soldiers to attack raiders. Once I spin the map, these actions become unavailable until the next turn. I scout my work or scout tiles now. Right, so do I want to do that before pressing enter? No, I'm going to press enter. Oh, spin a section like a Rubik's Cube, right? That's a cool, this is a cool concept. The system we've yet to work out. Let's work tiles. I've got 2 workers, right, so I can pick 2 of these tiles to work for something. Well, that's +2 food, so that's sick. I don't really know what any of these other ones do, but wood is probably good, right? Let's take a look. What we're going to get. How do we see what a tile does again? Oh yeah, just click on. Those are good tiles. Those are bad tiles. So I'm going to spin this one this way to rotate that around. Yeah, okay, that did work out how I thought it would. I wasn't sure whether that might grab it from the other side, but I'm glad it worked that way. I mean, there's nothing in here that would surprise me about it being made in Game Maker document. I love the concept of this. I think you're on a cool foundation. I even like the rules and stuff are good. I think this tutorial is a bit heavy on like text to interaction. I think the best ways to do, I don't know, it's hard because there's a lot of little rules and stuff. But like, I think some of the better ways to do this are things where you have me do an interaction, like a little bit of time, and learn things, where you just sort of guide, like, hold my hand and say, like, assign a worker to a thing, and I go, okay, click this, and I can see what it does, and pick it up myself that way. Obviously there's things you do have to explain, but like, you want to minimize the paragraphs, right? And it's hard. It's better to have the paragraph than have nothing. I've definitely had games of this kind of like depth and stuff that have just appeared with no tutorial, and that's way worse. Well, I mean, the easiest way, I guess, to create the fake 3D effect is just to create it 3D, which would probably actually not be as hard as you think, especially in Gaming Studio 2. Yeah, create a cube, texture, or create several cubes, texture the thing, and then you don't even have to rotate the cube, really. You just rotate the camera around, and then just keep the UI just drawing on the same spot. Oh wait, you have to rotate them because you have to do the thing where each thing rotates, wouldn't you? But yeah, I think you could do that. I don't think it's as hard as it sounds. Sprite stacking would probably actually work really well for this. I don't know. Would it? I don't know. I don't know enough about it, actually. I don't know if that would actually cause some major problems with the way the sprites would have to be, but there's ways for sure. Anyway, once we're done, spin a section on the map, but we can have spin a section, which we did. But can we do it multiple times? It's still like flashing as if we can. Maybe these should all go away once we've actually done it. Like, don't want me to do two things in a big block of tutorial like that. Have me do one thing and then have the game acknowledge I've done that thing, move to the next bit of tutorial and be like, okay, you've done that, great, now is the next thing, you know? Now that you've gathered some resources, let's use this turn to spend some of those. Just the more feedback, you know, the more like I click a thing, stuff happens in game, I click a thing, stuff happens in game, the better, you know? It's that loop, right? Do I have to draw the diagram again? I have to draw the diagram, me playing the game. We'll do it out of PC this time, right? So I've got my keyboard here, there's the monitor, and I'm hitting buttons, sending things to the screen, and then there's the speakers as well, they're important. Speakers are there, and the screen sends things back to me. And so do the speakers. And there's got to be enough of that green and blue arrow for every red arrow, right? Don't forget the hair. Oh, hang on. Wrong colour. That's about right. There's got to be enough of green and blue for every red that I do. They've got to be in equilibrium. Otherwise, I'm not having a good time. Where were we? Now I've gathered some resources, let's use this turn to spend some of those. Okay, we have gathered some, you right? Press them to continue. Proving a tile will use... Okay. So the special tile for your kingdom. Ah. What does it do though? There's no indication of what it would do. Develop. Is that like the language of Katana, like a development card, get a soldier? Convert soldier. Hmm? Irons -3. There's a dude here, is that showing that that tile has worked or something? The actions I would like. One more of those. Oh, we didn't have one worker? We need more workers. How do I get... Oh, I can't find out how to get more workers. Oh, and I did... Oh, I hope I worked the good one. I did, yeah. Oh, it's only +1 food. Wasn't there? Oh, no! No, I didn't mean to do that one. Oh. I thought the water gave you 2 food. Unsure. Does that mean I'm working a tile that we've shifted? So I'm working a tile on the other side? What can I do with the soldiers? Can I do anything with them right now? There's no raiders that I can see. Unless that's what this guy is. I assume that was my worker. Scout. Oh. Is that going to reduce my food? Yeah, grim. Oh yeah, he did an attack. Oh no, okay. This is still just the tutorial. What do scout tiles do again? And let's bring this back to where it was. I'm not sure what scout tiles does. Can't remember. Oh, each turn. Ah. That's why it wouldn't let me do that. Maybe I'd already spun the map or whatever, right? And you can only do that then. Ugh. I meant to do that the other way. Wait, what happened to my +2 food from this? Or is that because it's winter? I don't know how the things are able to go this badly for me just in the tutorial. Oh my god, golf. The actions I would like, I don't know. I need food. But does that not... Oh, it's just already given me it there, right. They just don't naturally give me food. Alright, is angry. I feel like we're not actually going to be able to play this, we're just going to be able to do the tutorial and then move on. I don't know what that cost, we just sort of did it. Guess we need more food. Not really anything else we can do. Just needed to start simpler, I think. There's too much going on. I don't know what prestige even is. What happened? I don't know what happened. Prevent me from auto-farming tiles for 4 turns. No, I know the basics. Do I? The basics I understand are I can work tiles, some tiles do things, and we can shift the tiles at the end of the turn, and there are sometimes little dudes that we can like fight and stuff. That would have been enough for a long time, I think. No, it's just like the game. Hang on. Menu. Let's just start then. Oh, there's so much. There's the amount of info I'd expect for like starting a game of Civ on something with like a full map, not a cute little sim on a cube that rotate. Someone plays a lot of board games. Stock up on food because winter be coming. Not sure what a camp does. Maybe we should work towards one of them. Maybe that'll be helpful. Oh, we have 2 workers now. Oh, I think we lost one to famine before. And some dudes. Oh, I see, and we can't rotate the middle because that's got our castle in it. Makes sense. Can't I just keep rotating between 2 and therefore these sides like are never relevant? Or do they automatically get brought in at some point? You know what I'm going to say about the art style as well? Like these buttons versus the thing. Versus all this. Versus the text. Season change in the map spins, right? Okay. Alright, I've got 5 wood. Can I do anything with 5 wood? Not without some iron. Just give me a natural bit of food. Right, I could sit playing this like for ages trying to work all this stuff out. So we are going to move on, but I get the idea and it's cool. I really like the as I say, I really like the concept of this and the foundation. I think it could do with being just a bit simpler. Honestly, I don't think it even like I'm sure it's all very interesting with the god powers and stuff like that goes off. I just don't think it needs it because I'm just like, especially if I look at it, like if this were being marketed to me as a game, I would think it would actually be something that would simple to pick up but quite difficult to master, whereas it actually feels quite difficult to pick up. You know, there's a lot. Some of that is just a tutorial. There are a few too many paragraphs with not enough just like do the thing and see what happens. Some of it is with the amount of text that comes up on the screen showing that things are happening without enough time to really digest each one, and it just being through text and some numbers changing, and I've got to be like, okay, what happened? What? The visuals of it obviously hurt because like obviously yeah, when you pick to spin a thing, you can like, yeah, part of that, you know, oh, it's not just that it would be cool if the thing was 3D and rotated, but you would see the rotation and you would be able to visualize it, whereas if I just click this, it's just so instant. Yeah, I've done something like that. That little sliding thing is good, so you can kind of get an idea. But like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's harder to visualize what's actually happening there. It's like a bunch of little issues there, but I think it's a gem of an idea. That's cool. I'm gonna leave that one there though, because we don't have infinite time. It's already 5 and we've got a million more games to play. So thank you for that one. Yeah, it's cool. I think you really need to pour a lot of time and effort into that tutorial. But maybe also consider losing some of the other mechanics, or introducing them at some later stage. I don't know. Because it's just it felt a bit much. But some of that is also maybe a grain of salt of, it's the 5th game I've played of the day, and maybe I'm just not I don't have the energy for that many mechanics. That's just how I felt. Next up, fail conditions from Wall Jump Games. Don't trust anything that computer says. It is a liar. Whatever it says, do the opposite. Okay, now okay, it's one of these. All right. Oh, Wowie Jam again. I don't know. That's a bit. I don't know. Is it? No, I don't know who that is. But apparently a lot of people do, so I guess that's the idea. Every like, I think I'm the only game developer with a big audience that doesn't have his own game jam. Wait, which one of these do I want? Wowie Jam 3.0? Wall Jump Games, are we here? Because it just sounds like a lot of work, Seeds and Twigs, and I don't know, I think there are enough game jams. If you said, I want to do a game jam this weekend, I bet you could find one. Like, I don't know, fine, there's enough. It's a well-served market. But maybe, yeah, I don't know, maybe at one point. Overall, we just submit games that are like, oh look, it's got loads of pixels, and John hates that. Which do I download? Where are you? Wall Jump Games. It's your game. Where are you? Which thing do I? I'm going to assume it's this one. Oh wait, no, it's got literal OS symbols. It's this one. Well, no, but like someone's got to like play or judge them or whatever, right? And like, or even if I don't judge them, at least like gives me the impetus to like do content on the games that are submitted, right? It's enough work just doing 10 games every Friday. Well, this guy doesn't seem like he's here, so maybe this will be a quick one. So I'm by myself. I don't know, it's not me. Welcome to my facility. If you want to survive, you have to follow my rules. Okay, another guy. Arrow keys move me, the space moves me. There's another guy who has an outline. I don't have an outline, but he has an outline. Can't interact with him, but we just moved through here. Okay, that was a weird scene. Time for test. Enter moves that on. Okay. What was that other level about? It was like a test stream or something? Well, what was the condition here? And what did that do? I thought that was the end then, but that was like, was that a tutorial? Maybe buy wall jump games for WoW Jam. You need to get. Remember what your friend said. My friend didn't say anything. Collect 5 coins. Oh, that's because I did the thing. So if I collect 5 coins, it GG's. Oh, you have to not do that? But he told me that I do have to do that. But like the game page said ignore him. Is that to do with that? I don't understand. But either way, the idea is I can collect up to 5. Putting aside whatever nonsense the narrative is trying to do, we can only collect 5 coins, right? Or less, so we have to avoid collect 2 coins. What is this? I can't jump? Oh wait. Oh, it's now top down. Oh, we collect that and I become top down, whatever that was. You said fulfill the condition or I'll let you through to the next level, but it seems like I can get to the next level only by ignoring that condition. The haha, I can't believe you're that stupid. It feels a bit much. I need to be this precise. Why is there acceleration and deceleration? God damn it. Well, I mean, you say I'm stupid, but like, it's not like I intended to collect the or whatever. No transition. Like, there's a transition when I screw up and do the thing, and you like do a text message. But when I just hit a wall, it just like insta warps me. So you're just doing room restart there. So you need a death transition of some kind. Oh, the mechanical concept that you were talking about, like the avoid doing X. Sure, it's presented in a really bizarre way, but that idea is like is fine, and it's, I mean, it's not entirely like it's been done before, but like, wait, can I? Oh, I have a single double jump as well. No one told me I had a double jump. Oh yeah, that does that. But I mean, it's not really been delivered in a like. It's like, oh, like don't collect, or rather collect 2 coins, but don't, because you have to not do what he said. It's opposite day, or whatever is going on. It's like, don't listen to the computer or whatever. But like they could just be spikes, right? There's no difference. It's just like it's spikes, but you're allowed to hit 1. It's not like coins do anything for you when you are allowed to touch them. But it's cool, like being able to set a specific fail condition for a level, whatever. That's interesting. And that's the name of the game. That's clearly what they thought was they were going for. What do we do here? Oh, that's the end. Right, okay. Oh, yeah, that's quick at least. Let's go back to the game page. So this isn't a way to deliver your narrative in a way. Oh, this guy's meant to say that. Okay, he didn't actually say that when I came into here. What, if I remember right, am I going crazy? Did he say that? Yeah, this guy doesn't say anything. I think maybe that's a bug. An important one, because he tells you the key concept, which is do the opposite of what he says, which is unnecessary. I guess it was like a narrative thing he was trying to do, but like, why would it have been wrong to have a simpler narrative of just he's actually just going to give you the honest fail condition? Like, you will fail unless you will fail if you do these things or whatever, rather than be like, oh, I'm lying, and then just laughing at you for screwing up, but then instantly restarting you, so you instantly get the idea that he's lying. Like, it's like, well, what is he trying to achieve with these lies? This narrative makes no sense. So then we ignore the narrative and we just like, okay, I get the rule is just do the opposite of whatever he says. But that's like instantly apparent, and that's like the whole thing over, right? I don't know whether it was Portal or what that made this whole like a computer what lies to you in a facility thing become really popular, but it has become really popular. Mechanically, though, like I like the concept of like giving you a specific fail condition for each room is interesting because it allows you to do a lot of interesting new things with level design. But a lot of the times with this, it was just like get a certain number of coins, which was just like you have an X number of lives or whatever. Or saying like, oh, get a power up is the mechanic. It's just like, well, these are just spikes now, and they just look like they used to be power ups, but now they are just a thing that hurts you for this room. It's not delivered in that way. Is not super interesting. And the level design itself is rough here. Like, if you just look at this level, for example, like, what's all this area to the left about? It doesn't mean anything. Oh, wait, I assume you don't start there, actually. You probably do start closer to there. But still, like, it's just a lot of wasted space in general, right? It's all very open, a lot of space. The jump height felt a little bit weird and too high or too low in places. Like, the distances hadn't really been thoroughly thought out. But this one was weird because you kind of like had to kill yourself on this weird red block at the end to finish it, and I'm still not really sure why. But you did. But like I like the springiness of the character was kind of cool when you were like jumping off things and wall jumping and stuff, and that feel was good. But nothing told me, one, that you could wall jump, or B, that you could double jump as well. We just had to sort of discover that thing by the shape of the level design, and having played platformers before and knowing what a double jump will generally allow me to do, so eventually we stumble upon its existence. It wasn't clear at all that this ability made me like top down until I noticed I was just like hovering above the floor, and it's like, oh wait, what? How do I? Oh, okay, we do that now. Because I was like, wow, how on earth will you fit through there? That doesn't make any sense. And that's what made me think this was a wall at first as well, not something that killed you. Because I was like, well, you must have to wall jump through there, right? But that was not it. I like the attempt to blend the narrative and mechanics here because I think that's always a smart thing to try and do. I just don't think the narrative wasn't complete or didn't really make enough sense. So therefore, because it's then tied to the mechanics didn't make sense until you separate the two in your mind. But the attempt is good. Yeah, I think those are, I can say other things, but I think those are the most important things with that one. Don't include coins unless coins are going to do something, generally. I know Mario has them and they don't do anything in there, but it shouldn't. They can be helpful because they can help you draw attention to where you want the player to go, but here they're just used as another way to give you spikes because the fail condition can be don't pick up coins. It's like, oh, but it's subversive because you normally pick up coins, and it's well, no, because it's like that every level, so it's not really subverting anything at that point. Anyway, pretty hard. It was pretty hard. You do where you're not told. That's the thing though, when that is the whole mechanic of just like its opposite day, do the opposite of the thing, it adds no more value after the very first time you're told something. It's not you have to work that out every time and be like, ooh, what's the opposite of that? That could be interesting, I guess, if it was a little arbitrary or just like a little bit more vague of what the opposite of something was. But like it was just platformer mechanics, so it was just like don't it was get 3 of these, okay, don't get 3 of these. Or like touch this, okay, don't touch that, you know? And it's over at that point. Next up, Last Night of Winter, top-down RPG from Luxana. We've got 4 more to go, Chris. Have I played this before? This looks familiar. Yeah, we've definitely played this one before. So I'm assuming this has seen some progress. 334 more megabytes. Yeah, it's in brackets 1. The theme was failure and progress. Yeah, I can see that. That explains like where the thing came from for sure. I just that's a difficult one to execute on, and like that is a rough theme. And failure is progress. It's like like there's games that work with that, but I feel like they're all gonna look quite similar. I don't know. Like they're all gonna look a bit like that essentially, but it's just gonna come down to the execution. It depends though. You can suppose yeah, more interesting ones for that. We're just gonna take it in maybe wild different directions. I don't know. I always say themes are hard, but then you realize that themes don't matter because people always find a way to make something cool with them. So give me a bullet list of what's changed Luxana Banana, because I'm not gonna. I've played too many games now, and I'm not gonna remember necessarily like what I said before. Let's close some of these. Oh, that's done now. Oh, you need to get this on YouTube as well. Let's mux that real quick. .35.mp4, M4A. You've made a tutorial. There was no tutorial before. Not as hard as it was. Okay. I don't remember how hard it was. What was it called again? Last Night of Winter. Cannot find where I've extracted it to. There we go. In a RAR file. Okay. Cool. Difficulty normal or easy. I guess we'll leave it on more. Defaulting to low volume is nice. I'll turn that off a little bit though. Continue. New game. Cosmonaut mate, is it? Is that a distinctive style? Okay. Skeletons being destroyed by rain. So these skeletons seemingly okay. Okay. Followable, short amount of text. Just about something I don't necessarily know about it yet, but it just gives me some questions that will be answered later. Some guy delivers potion of something. And causes me to arise in some sort of Dark Paulsian way. What is it with scarves? No idea what my buttons are here. Enter brings up that menu, but then does not actually confirm anything on it. Although it does when I go there, but when I press it on resume, nothing happens. But when I press enter on volume, it closes the menu. Where's this tutorial at? Well, I can move around, I guess that's enough for now. E. That's a button on my keyboard. We'll press that. Your time to awake. I don't know, because it wasn't time-based. The guy had to give me a potion. How did I end up locked here? Well, no matter. You must be a little stunned after waking. Okay. It's cliche, but it's honestly a nice, like, this whole, like, it's okay for you to not remember a few things. It's a good way to make me relate to the character, because, like, I don't know anything that's going on either. I have no context for anything. I don't know what's going on. So if the character also doesn't know what the hell is going on, I'm like, yeah, me too, buddy. And what? Received Bell. Bell was added to the inventory. I mean, it sort of said the same thing twice there. Received Bell. Bell was added to the inventory. Well, yeah. Bell is a soul catalyst and it's yours. You may not remember how to use it right now, but you do for sure. Odd sentence, but I think I know what you mean. After all, it's bound to you to the shape of your memory. Give it a try. Okay, how? Alright, he's ringing it. Clicky. Clicky? Ooh. It's like a lightsaber? Fill your bottle in the fountain, okay. Oh, my hit points are all very low, you're right. Rest? Oh. I think I wanted to fill my bottle, but we've just rested here instead. Yeah. Oh, is that like an Estus flask? No, leave. It's not clear what buttons I... Enter does this, E does things. These... You're teaching me some of the main mechanics of the game and stuff, sure, but like the interaction and stuff here is a bit awkward. I don't know what button to press to do this, and E came up for him. Why does an E not come up for this? How do I fill this up? How do I fill the bottle? Do I have to rest here? Alright, do it then. Do it again. Okay, yeah, it's full now. But I mean, like, resting there, it wasn't necessarily obvious to me that resting there was going to fill it. Okay, we have like a stamina thing, and that's a lot of attacks for a stamina bar to have. Alright. Like a dodgy thing. This semi-randomized. Oh no, they're all jumps. It's just when I do a back jump, it does a little backflip. Cool. Okay. Like it's doing a zoom whenever I can like interact with a dude or something. And like we go into non-combat mode, I guess. Probably should have said this before we even told me to fill the bottle, because I was like, well, what's the bottle even for? I got a vague idea though, from having been given the bottle to come up in the first place. Okay. Trying to be mindful of the time. What's in here? Fading powder. How do I even access the inventory? Escape? No. Well, hasn't told me how to access the inventory yet, so I'm going to assume it doesn't matter. Can I like skip to the... Oh. Did that skip the whole thing? Not very good at dodging. Just a bit of something. Okay. Oh no! I got caught in a... like a stun lock there. Be careful with things like that. I don't even remember getting to here, so like this is like some actual combat tutorial. It's kind of cool. Whole, H-O-L-E, whole with a W means like entirety, like the whole of something. Oh. Something looks some whatever that magic water is. Okay. Didn't look particularly special, but the teaching was good. Oh, that looked a bit more interesting. Notice how, like, I want people to take away how good this art looks, despite, like, not actually, like the skill required to draw this is not super high. This isn't me trying to be super critical. I think it looks perfectly fine. But, like, it's pretty simple sprite, and, like, the proportions aren't necessarily great. The scarf is, like, a bit big and some, right? There's things you can criticize about it. But look how consistent it is. Look how everything just matches. And everything feels right and fits into the world. And just look, like, this is the perfect example of, like, you don't need to be that skilled as long as you create consistency and you put time and effort into making sure that things look the same as one another and fit into the world. And this game just looks miles better than probably everything we've played in. Like, look how simple that walk animation is, and so on, you know? And yet... I don't know what any of these items we're picking up are, but that's fine. I don't need to know everything right away if it's not relevant right away. Oh, we got wrecked by those guys, though. I'm not gonna be able to play loads of this, always, because we just don't have time in the stream, you know? That's just a limitation of the existence of time. But and I can't remember exactly what I necessarily said about this last time, but the pacing definitely feels better than what I vaguely remember. I don't know how to open the inventory yet, but, like, I've not been given the impression it matters, which is right. That's perfectly fine. Give me some items. Let me know that there's gonna be some stuff, but don't actually tell me the inventory button right away because it doesn't matter yet. That's fine. I've been getting a lot of red seeds. Can't jump over that pit, that's a big pit. I think so, yes, Unreal Crank. At least if you are explicit about it. Better too many owls than not enough, I guess. It's a question of pacing, really, right? If you're starting to feel like it's too many owls, just space them out a bit more, you know? Just give you a bit more time to just engage with the mechanics you've taught so far before sticking in yet another owl, you know? Just have the inventory. Like, so far it's good because, like, maybe there was an owl that was going to teach me about the inventory, and it's probably a good thing that I've not run into it yet. Because I'm doing fine just with what I know so far and having a good time, right? I don't need to know what items in the inventory and stuff do. Oh, damn it. It's a shame that can happen. I was like, oh, I'm going to do the thing I learned, and then that got killed. Or it's concentrate. Oh, it's this blue bar. How does that go back up? I don't know yet. Oh, it's going to tell me. Charge of concentration, you have 2 options. I do wish I could, like, hold a button or press a button to, like, skip through this text, like, just because I can read faster than the letter typing. So I want to be able to just, like, so I can just read it quicker. You know, skip to the end of the text but don't actually progress the text, sort of thing. Maybe another checkpoint would have been good as well, by, like, how you know, how many enemies there are actually in between where you can like die and stuff. Oh, I like that because that's not explicit. All right, it's sort of implied that you can damage things by jumping on them. Then I can put it together and do it myself. That's really cool. Oh, but these guys still wreck me. Ugh, very lucky there. I think a checkpoint by now would have probably been helpful. Also F. That's mean. This is mean. I guess I can see that these bits are not falling away. Orange seed. We'll ignore that for now. I feel like I'm gonna have to move on. Like, this is kind of long, obviously, but it feels better than what I remember, but I don't remember much. So much, like, I don't remember the specifics. Oh, I'm out of bottle. I like that it's like not too like it's a bit Scholesy in places with the bot Estus flask and so on, but like I like that it's not too not just doing everything those games do often on principle. I feel like it's branching a lot, and it's a little bit confusing as to where I'm expected to go. On the side, when you're tutorialing, you really kind of want to keep it super linear, and if you do any branches, it's because you want the player to like try what they've learned, or like maybe discover like a little bonus or secret thing. Which maybe that's what this is, but it's like hard to tell. I feel like I've been getting a little bit lost. Oh no, I'm dead. I'm all the way back at the beginning thing. I think we might lose. Yeah. So maybe I missed some, but like more checkpoints would definitely be good. But I'm liking the pacing of this a lot more than what I remember. Like controls and stuff are a little. The menus are a bit weird and wonky at times. It's still got a long way to go in a lot of places, but like I think it's coming along really well. I think a little bit more linearity in that tutorial section would help a little. Like keep working on it. Like it's not. I don't think it's like done. Keep refining it. I think like I don't want to give too many specifics, but like take what you've seen there of me playing it. I'm sure there's probably things you noticed that you can be like, oh, maybe this could be like you say with the checkpoint, making that a bit clearer and so on. Put it in front of more people. Have more people play that beginning bit. Just see how they get on with it. See what they learn. What they struggle to pick up with. When they give up is an important thing as well, because there'll be people who just like that's it's hard to get into that situation, I guess, because often if you're giving it to people to play it, like here, obviously I'm gonna give it my best effort, and if you give it to your friend, they're gonna give it your best effort. One of the things that was really useful for me when I took Pokepoke to like Norwich and that is like I could just leave it for people to come up and play, and like they would obviously sit down and play for a bit, and then they would just be like when they got sick of it, like put it down and moved on was very important and interesting. It's hard to manufacture that situation, especially now, like because we can't see anyone and so on. But if you can find a way to gather that information, it's really, really useful. It is very difficult, yeah, but it's what you need. Unfortunately. Keep working on that intro, but that's good because it's going to be the most important thing. It's a shame we can't see more of it, we just don't have time or whatever, but yeah, I look forward to seeing how that keeps coming along. It's good. If you want to send me a version at some point in the future with a skip to later areas in the game to take a look at, that would be cool too, since obviously maybe you don't want to just have me see the beginning of it every single time. But it's always cool to see how things develop over time as well. That's good. Yeah, it looks really cool. Like, the art style's really consistent, really nice. As I say, like, honestly, not all the artwork is super pretty all the time. Some of it, like, you could, like, has less effort than other bits. The characters especially like a little bit wonky, but it's nice to actually be able to talk about those things, because like it's hit the baseline of actually being consistent. You picked a style and stuck with it. Therefore, as I say, making it look better than everything that does not do that. So, on the whole, lots of work there, a lot of stuff in the right directions. It's going really well. Keep at it. This looks good. Traveler from Board Packtroy. We've got 3 left. Apologies, I'm just not going to be able to give these ones as much time as all the others because time's marching on. But we'll try and get the key idea out of each one. Think of one core thing that we can take, one key takeaway for each of these next 3 games, which is probably the more helpful way to do it anyway. Yeah, honestly, it's at a point where it's obviously like quite a big game that you're working on there, and like it's hard to give like just like little specific things of just like, oh, you could do this or whatever. So honestly, at that point, you're probably looking less at like listening to my actual feedback and more just watching me play the game and gathering info from how I seem to be feeling and responding to things and how I'm whether or not I'm picking up on the things you want me to pick up on and so on, rather than the things I actually have to say. Right? Traveler 00, press space to start. Whoa. That was not what I expected. Hey, Taldon. Developed by Phoenix Wu. Oh yeah, what's the chat name of this person? Board Packtroy. Whilst move, that boost, light attack, heavy attack, exit, restart level. Okay. That's a lot of shaking. Oh, I just glow yellow when we do an attack. Lowish palette with a sort of consistent colory scheme. Sort of. Oh. F. We move very quickly and include very quickly into horrible traps. So what do we do here? Run really fast is not the correct answer. Dash, maybe? Okay. If I hadn't necessarily took in all those controls at the start, expecting the game to give me more of a tutorial, I might be like, well, what do I do here? How do I even get through this? It's possible you'll have players who just get stuck there and never get any further than that one bit at the start because they don't even know that there's a dash. It's a bit risky. Outline on the player, but no outline on the characters. No outline on the sword, sorry. It's a little inconsistent. Like the resolution's matched, which is, well, other than this flame, which is totally something else entirely. But generally, even the stuff that's the same resolution, there's some just inconsistency in style. Like that sword doesn't really look like the player, right? They look like they're from different games. So, once again, consistency. It's important. Try and aim for that wherever you can. I like that there's a cool little death transition. Better than just doing a room restart. It's very fast-paced. Very zoomed in. Ah, I wasn't even in that. Hitbox appears to be the whole player, despite having like a 3/4 like top-down look, so it's like I can get hit. Oh, clicked out of the screen. If you're gonna have mouse controls on a full screen thing as well, you need to make sure that you don't let the player click out of the window. It's a tricky one because you usually relies on DLLs and things to be able to get that. Yellow Afterlife wrote a thing for it. It's really good. Nice general atmosphere and everything though. Right, so we have to go into these blue things. The sword is very much just swing, 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 and your side attacks feel better than the low one because that's like a very thin, like, I'm assuming the hitbox matches up to roughly where the sword slash is. So I always want to come at things from the side, it feels like. That's scary to go through because it's just like so fast and like it's instant death. I'm not entirely clear that I'd come out of that then because it starts quite far away from. Okay, we start here. At least we save at the start of each thing. All right, things. This is the thing with top-down swords sometimes, is like making your directions balanced. I guess sometimes not having them be balanced adds something, but I'm totally lost. Is this procedural? Oh, no, EXPIX. There's Inksplats doing the majority of the art. Everything's so fast. Everything feels a lot faster than like the music and general atmosphere implies like it would be. Like that has the tone and ambience of like a slow, deliberate game. This is very like. I suppose that I like the death transition, but like it covers the screen so quickly, and everything else in the game happens so fast. It can be hard to tell what actually happened to me. It's just like you died, and then the screen is just blank red, so I can't even I've no time to digest what actually happened because the entire screen's just gone full red. It's like maybe like a brief pause before that happens or something like that, where you just freeze that frame for a moment and then maybe the red fades in over the top or something rather than just instantly bang, red. Oh, especially with those spikes, like it's hard to tell that was even what went up. Was it the spike that got me or the enemy? There I could see like the spike came out for a single frame, but like it's really hard. I just I'm not I don't have the reaction time to deal with those things coming up the screen like so that fast, and like coming up the spikes from below feels really rough because it feels like my head should not count. It feels like my hitbox should be like oh, I'm not even visible now. That's no good. Like here. And like when I get hit by something here, it just feels really weird because of the perspective. Things I've knocked back and just knock you into the spike as well, just very mean. Like you can't that's less than like human choice reaction time in games like average something like around like 10 to 20 frames at 60 FPS. So bear that in mind when you think about how quickly these things are appearing on screen. I say choice reaction time as opposed to Twitch reaction time. Like if you know that like if you have all the rules and information for something, like press this button when the screen turns green or something like that can be way faster because you could just look for any change and just be like, when you're just looking for any change to do one thing, your reaction time can be way quicker, and that can be more like 5 to 10 frames, or even higher. Like some people have crazy fast reactions, but like to make an actual like something has happened on the screen and react to it with a choice, like the average like fighting game player would have like a reaction time for that between like 10 and 20 frames. 10 being super fast, like ultra fast. 20 being closer to like your average player who actually plays quite a lot. People who don't play a lot are closer to like 30, 40. And all this stuff is happening way under those. Zooming out a bit, yeah, exactly. Like if you zoomed out a bit, obviously, yeah, you would have more time to see it coming, but obviously that changes your atmosphere and tone and so on. There's other considerations there as well. Yeah, obviously, if you know where the enemies are, then it becomes less of a choice reaction for you, right? That's more of a Twitch reaction because you know they're there and you're just looking for the change to happen and bam, 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 or you're even maybe preemptively swinging, right? It always comes down to that, you know. It always like when you make it's not like you're different to everybody else, right? Like you might think of, if you don't actually, you know, if you're looking at this and you're maybe not a game developer, like how do people make these mistakes? You know, like surely they just play the game and they can tell it's too fast or whatever, right? But they know so much more about the game and so on, and it can be hard to know what you know that other people don't know. Until you get used to it. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to get any further than that. We get the idea. Anyway, it's like the tone and atmosphere good, but also gives off the impression of a game that it is not. Like the mechanics jar with it because they're so fast and twitchy. That's not necessarily bad. They just don't gel well with the two things side by side. Some are inconsistencies, and I don't have Jedi reflexes, so I'm not very good at it. That's the summary. Moving on. Second last game, we got Arvia Laboratories testing. Oh, and hitboxes. I would bring the hitbox for him down from the top of his head because it's very frustrating to get hit by spikes from the top of his head. It doesn't feel like it looks right because it feels like it should be 3/4 top down, not strict top down. So like getting hit on the top of his head there feels like that should be behind him, not actually hitting him. So like a hitbox maybe on his body rather than just like the whole sprite would feel better. Always err on the side of a smaller hitbox than a bigger one, generally speaking. Moving on. Download the Windows version of the game or character movement is slow. Okay. Use your own body to keep buttons pressed, open doors, or use it as stairs to reach high placed areas. Okay. Wow. Wowie jam. You can tell when there's been a jam because like every time there is someone's game jam, it's like and it's like a popular one or whatever. Every game I get that week, there's like 50% chance of it being from the jam that just happened. Welcome, subject 6075. Use WASD or arrows to move and jump, okay? Buttons can open doors, stand on it to activate it. Okay, I like the line going from it. Cute lesson from things like Portal and so on that do that. It's good. Smart. Easy to commit. Alright, God's failure is progress, right. Oh, and that explains that original game as well. Oh, Daddy Sucks game as well. That had that same theme. Right. It's coming together now because I'm just like, these are weird mechanics people have got. And like, oh, it was a jam theme. Right. Now I understand. Okay. Chamber failed. You go, well, I didn't fail. I did it intentionally. But failure is progress. Oh, I didn't fall over that time. Because I couldn't? If you fall over next to a wall, you like stay like that? If I would do that, I would acknowledge it as part of the mechanics rather than saying like explicitly you failed or whatever, because you didn't. This is intentional. This is part of the thing, right? Ah, but you sink. I was like, oh, maybe they float. Well, I guess eventually you form a bridge, right? It just takes a long time. Because there's a lot of time. I mean, I assume this is what you're meant to do, but it's like, or you could just build an actual bridge, like. This might be faster. It's a lot of times to see you fail or whatever, right? Like, I'm not failing. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm not sure what decides whether it falls over or not. I thought it was being next to a wall, but now I'm not sure why it's doing it here. It might just be a collision bug. Whose game was this? Ghost Miner. Oh no. I want to block myself off. Oh no. Oh, I'm just gonna reset. Start again. Yeah, jump as far as we can. Just have a cool transition, because it's your main mechanic, right? Your main mechanic is dying to make a body or whatever. As far I know it's the theme for the jam, but this mechanic's been done so many times. I swear, I've seen so many games like this and loads of other game jams as well, or other game jams with similar themes of death with progress or whatever. Like, oh, I'll do a platformer. When you die, you can use your body as a platform. It's like, I've seen it so much. But like, since it is your main mechanic, right? You want it to be the thing you put the time into feeling good stuff, right? Whereas this is like telling you did something wrong every time you use it. I guess it's because you're trying to lean into that theme of like stuck. You can move between levels using 1 and 2 key. Huh. I mean, I can just skip to the next one like that. Yeah. I mean, that wasn't because I was stuck. It's just because I'd already worked out. So this level, like, it's like, oh, we're combining the button and also building a ladder. But I already know both of these things. It's like you could like it's reinforcement of some kind, I guess. But I know both of these things already. Like, there's no need to just do all that again. It's just another water. We've done this, you know? And then it's like build up to there, stand on that, do that. I've solved the puzzle. Nickus the Pickus just subscribed. Thank you very much. Like, button on a ceiling is an interesting concept, but again, it's like I've got to go all the way across here. It's tricky because I've explained this a few times, but it's like it's a common one of like building puzzle games and puzzle platformers. If you've never done it before, or you've not studied it specifically and analyzed how puzzle games are built, it can be hard to like know what makes a puzzle level. Like how do you make something that the player doesn't know what to do and have that be fun, right? Is it just like the mechanics themselves that are intrinsically fun to perform? And I think that's what a lot of people assume right away, and then they just try and make things that are just somehow just naturally interesting and just hope that it works. But the key in puzzles is like the working it out bit, so there has to actually be something to work out. But that's the hard thing, because that's anti-intuitive, because it's like you're as a game designer, you're trying to make sure the player knows what to do and how to do the thing. So then how do you put something in that they don't know how to do and make that be the fun thing? I think here, generally, the idea generally is to create something where the player knows everything that they can do, all the basic rules. So like, you know, like you come in one way, you go out the other, and your goal is to get to here, so you know what your goal is, you know how the buttons work, and so on. But then you introduce one thing that they don't know, and you don't tell them how it's done, and maybe it contradicts something they already know, and that just one key piece of information they're missing that they can use all the other information they have to try and solve, and they solve it, and they learn something about the game in the process of solving it. So what could that be here, for example, with this mechanic of killing yourself like this? It's just like they die, we know we can die, then we make a platform, we know that if we stand against the wall, do it. That's something we kind of procedurally figured out. That could maybe have been something that... I don't know with this mechanic. I mean, I've seen it so many times, and every time I see it, I'm just like, wow, you really can't do much with this, huh? Like, it's like, it feels like it's been explored a lot, because it sounds like a cool idea, but never really seems to go anywhere. And I don't know, even as a designer myself, like what I would do with it. Just like, yeah, you can make platforms. That's it. Like, I don't know where it goes from there, really. Like, you could limit the amount you could make. Maybe that makes it interesting if you can only make so many. But there's a moment it's just like just performing really long, arduous tasks, and then every now and again getting completely stuck like that. And be like, oh, I did it wrong. We needed to get more width or whatever. I guess we start again. Oh, and that was the last level because I pressed 2 to get to the next one. That wasn't the next one. So those are the levels. But I like a lot of look, this is the simplest art style I can even imagine. It is just solid colors and rectangles, right? And yet he's made something that's convincingly a button. These paths that light up look really good. It's really smooth and nice when you step on a button or whatever, and the thing... That's cool. This lighting up and showing you what it goes towards is really nice and really smooth. Look how good this looks. And it's like as simple as it could possibly get. But it looks great because it's consistent. The worst looking parts of it are these things because they're like almost like pixel art, right? And not as like smooth and crisp and clean as the rest of it. But yeah, none of it's really a puzzle other than, I guess, working out how to not soft lock yourself. And honestly, with this mechanic, I mean, it might just be this mechanic, man. I've seen it a lot, and I don't know what I would do. I'd have to sit and think about it. How to make bodies as platforms interesting. Someone do it. Someone work it out. Comment on the video on YouTube if you've solved how to make the bodies as platforms mechanic interesting. Pillars of Anguish. You say this does that. It's a similar thing. Bodies become platforms or something. Stuck in a loop. Well, it's not clear from the screenshots. I don't want to watch the YouTubers react video. Because what else can you do, right? I suppose, yeah, if you limited the number, it can be like, oh, how do you use these bodies in the right way to do a different thing? Maybe bodies can block certain things as well, rather than just being a platform for you to stand on. Maybe they have physics, so you drop one in the right place, it bounces on a thing. It has to have more rules. There have to be more consequences to the existence of it to make interesting things happen for the player to be able to discover and be like, oh, that looks like that, I see. Be able to at least be able to design it in that way. It's only one way of designing a puzzle game, but it's the one I know and understand. I don't really know the others. That's the one I'll always use as a frame of reference for like what to do if you don't know how to make a puzzle work. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. Let's move on. Last game. That's not the last game. Or is it? Oh, did I just delete what the actual last game was? Did I move on and then click delete? Oh no, what was it? Does anyone remember? Are you in chat? Did you submit a thing and we haven't played it yet? What was it? I think we might have accidentally deleted the game we actually wanted to play last. Surprised this hasn't happened before. Anyone know what it is or what it was? I mean, if they're not here, then that's their own fault. But if they're not here and they're watching the VOD later, like, where's my game? I don't know where it is. Maybe they're this person, because we might just have to leave it, because I don't have a way of getting that back. Check the. Oh yeah, check the. Is it already there though? Can I go to like? Can I watch in the past already? Did someone clip it? How far back does clipping go? It's probably been more than that now, right? Clip. They're watching the VOD later, like. No, yeah, I left it too long. Oh wait, all the way back here. Oh wait, yeah, I should be able to find it. All I have to say about that. Let's move on. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, I literally do. I just hit delete and then move. Oh wait, do I? One of two. Let's move on. No, I think Ghost Miner submitted twice actually. Now looking at it, maybe there wasn't one. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. Let's move on. Well, you can watch this and tell me if I'm missing something. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about that. Look, there it is. Delete. And then it's still just that. Unless it's updated now and it was just taking a really long time. I think Ghost Miner just submitted twice. I'm gonna assume that's the case, but if you submit and we did skipped your game, just I don't know, let me know at some point, and we'll try and make sure we cover it again in the future at the start of next week maybe. But otherwise, I'm gonna leave it there. No one's complaining in chat that like, oh, my game got deleted, so I'm guessing we're okay. That's all for this week then. Let's see if we can find a game dev to dump you all on. Quickly timing a thing before it starts auto playing. I hate that Twitch does that now. Where's the tag, dang it? Categories. Let me search by the tag. And technology. Oh, look, it's me. And also 28,000 viewers watching something at NASA. Fair enough. I like all these like game developers, and then the top one is science and technology. NASA. Yeah, fair enough. Gen 2. I think he's like Godot, right? Godot? Really Game Maker? I don't remember. Oh no, he does Game Maker, doesn't he? But we have gone there before. Is there anyone? There's no one at a quick glance. We'll go there. Yeah, it looks like we're going there. Why did I think? Yeah, I know it was gaming. Why did I think he was good at? I don't know. This looks cool. Alright. So anyone still here? We're gonna raid into prepare your Sean J Lulus and your Sean J Pokies. How do I type it? Gen 2. New episode of the ARPG will be going up shortly after this, once I can actually spare the bandwidth to upload it. I don't have anything else, I don't think. I was thinking, anything else I need to point out to people? But no, we'll be back next week with more of this. So we might start alternating it, like start doing like one of these and then one of the Pokepoke stream and so on. I think that's how I might end up doing it. But I still haven't really decided or commit yet, so we'll see. Thanks everybody for watching. Everybody say hi to Gen2 for me. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, everybody.